Hello, folks, and we are listening to a track which was requested way, way back. It has been in our common playlist for quite some time. I got to listen to it a couple of months back again. We always listen to the track that you guys suggest, and it usually goes in our backlog. And sometimes we forget, sometimes we start to react to some other songs. But this track, um, incidentally, bumped up again in my recommendation. I listened to it and I instantly recall that I listened to it before as well. And I have started to appreciate it. It's called Utshorgo by Tasnif Zaman. Tasnif Zaman is the artist. And apparently, this song is loved by masses for obvious reasons. When we will listen to it, we will discuss about it as well. So, shall we begin then?
All right, let's do it. Three, two, one, play.
There's a part in this track which hits me every single time.
আমার সবটুকু বিশ্বাস যে দিয়েছে ভেঙে তাকে কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাই সে দিয়েছে আমার অন্ধ চোখে আলো যার বিশালতার মাঝে আমি একটুকু পাইনি ঠাই তাকে কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাই সে যে দিয়েছে আমায় মহাশূন্যে আশ্রয় আমার সব অপূর্ণতায় যেন হয় আমার শূন্য পথের প্রতি শ্রেয়তম আশীর্বাদ
Are you?
যখন স্বর্গদ্বারে একা দাঁড়াবো তার অপেক্ষায় যেন আমার অভ্যর্থনা তাকে করে অনুতপ্ত জানি তখনও সে আমার হবে না তবুও এই অপ্রাপ্তি তাই যেন আমায় করে পরিতৃপ্ত আজ কোনো অনুভূতির গভীরে যেতে চাই না আর কখনো যেখানে নিঃশব্দ কান্নায় স্বরচিত হয় একান্ত যা কিছু তার নির্দয় স্পর্শে দিয়েছে সৃষ্টি নিভৃতে আমার প্রশান্ত কল্পনার ঘর আর যন্ত্রণার শিবিরে যে অবাধ্য কান্না দেয় নির্ভুল সুরের জন্ম ও তাকে আমার কাঁপে স্বর্গদ্বারে একা থাকবো তার অপেক্ষায়, যেন আমারও ভর্ৎসনা তাকে করে অবনত। জানি তখনও কিছুই আমার হবে না, তবুও এই অপ্রাপ্তি তাই যেন আমায় করে পরিপূর্ণ।
This audio ends abruptly,
Yes.
but I love his voice through and through and through. And I tell you why. I don't know if you remember our conversation. It was way back during university days. There was a band called Wraith at that time.
Yes, I remember.
And they had a track called Bholado. I did not listen to I did not used to listen to that track a lot, but once upon a time you pushed me and you asked me to listen to the way the vocalist is vocalizing in the entire track, and it boggled your mind that how beautifully and with how much passion and sensitivity he was conveying those lines, that it makes you feel the message even if the lyrics are not really that great. I personally did not like the lyrics of that track, but when I listened to it again and again, I understood what you meant. And here in this track as well, I'm actually guilty of not appreciating few tracks the first time, and this is one of those tracks when I
That's
listened
totally
to it for the
natural.
first. Yeah, there is Amar Deho Khan by Odd Signature. I listened to it, I loved it, but I did not appreciate the song itself or the level of appreciation that it deserved. Once I started to listen to it again and again during my journeys or commute, I realized how beautiful, how sensitive that track has been, and how beautifully each and single part has been crafted in this track. Here as well, I just fell in love with the vocals of Tasnif. I felt that he was effortlessly transitioning between the verses, even when he was going high, when he was trying to just show his frustration or hatred towards the person he loves. He was doing it beautifully. I mentioned during the video as well, there is one bit where I just had this sinking feeling when he just, how should I put it? He didn't go high, but the depth in his vocal was so wonderfully done that I just started to appreciate this song even more.
Does he remind you of Emil from Shunno?
Shanno,
His voice.
yeah, his voice
Yeah.
is very, the texture of his voice is very close to that.
It's very close. And the style of singing
Yeah.
is as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I agree with you. The thing that stands out for me is the complexity of the poetry
hmm.
of this track. It's the concepts are so complex, and the way they have been communicated is so beautifully done. So you have mentioned hatred. I wouldn't say that. I
Yeah.
would maybe put it differently. Like, he's trying to convince himself that he is indifferent.
Yeah,
To those
that's
people.
the right way to put. Yeah,
It feels like he's forcefully, he's shoving down this concept down his throat that I'm indifferent to those people, although deep down he isn't. But he wanna give this outlook that
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
I don't
And I'm
care
not
anymore, yeah.
bothered. I'm not bothered by those cruelty or brutality, whatever they did to him anymore. But yeah, it's an oxymoron where he is still thinking about it, he's singing about it, but
Yep.
he's
yeah,
right.
very well put. Yeah.
So it's more of a paradoxical kind of. So
Hmm.
and this shows it's so beautifully performed that it shows that he's forcing those things onto him. And when he, when he goes high with those notes, for me, this is how I interpret it, that it's forceful. He's even forcing onto himself. When he goes high, it feels like that. Uh, but
Yeah,
again, it's a concept that is very well conveyed.
that's
I,
what I would say too. Yeah, go on, go on.
I was trying to. It's hard to understand, right?
Of course.
There's a language barrier. It's hard to understand, and I mean, we try to utilize all the tools that we have available. One of them is the comments on YouTube video, which again were mostly incomprehensible for us because they were mostly in Bangla. But even though even when you translate the Bangla into English, you tend to understand what they're saying, and the complexity in it was just beautiful. The poetry itself is so beautiful.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Although we don't understand the entire poetry, but it still feels to be beautifully crafted, beautifully written, and at the same time, as you said, he is emoting each and every verse perfectly. The way he starts, the way in the middle he just transitions to a different note, then at the end, the way he goes high, he is just picking each and every once and trying to just soak it in. I personally think
So
that he, yeah.
I so you when you were saying that when you hear this track for the first time with the language barrier, right, and you don't know the lyrics, you don't know the concept, and you don't know all of these things, you don't get it, you don't get into it, and it doesn't click. And I understand why. I did the same thing. I heard it without knowing there's no video, without knowing the track. I mean, the concept, the lyrics, and all that. I mean, apart from his voice and the way he's singing, and you could see that he's trying to emote something. Uh, with the instruments itself, there's in certain places this lack of harmony with the vocals, which stands out when you strip away the meaning,
Absolutely. Yeah.
which for us is significant because again we
True.
don't understand the language, right?
True.
But then when you do look into the lyrics, when you do try to understand what he is singing, then your brain strips away the harmony, right? Because then you're focusing on what this person is saying, and you don't care about
100%.
the instruments, the off-key harmonies in some places. You don't care about those. And then
True.
you just focus on how he is singing, his voice, how his delivery is, and then the excellence stands out.
Yep. 100%. 100%. I haven't heard of any other track from Tasnif so far. I don't know if he is still doing music or not. At least from the comment section, I got to understand that he is not a musician anymore, or maybe I'm wrong. Um, but let our audience educate us and let them know, or let them educate us on any other particular track that we should touch upon at some stage, because I personally love his vocals. I think we have been talking about Bangladeshi singers in general and the way they sing. We just are in awe, especially the lower scales of the Bangladeshi singers.
Absolutely, that.
Yeah. So let's conclude over here, and let us know if there are any further tracks that you want us to review from Tasnif. And thank you so much for listening with us. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.